from Lyric FM on a Saturday morning. And let me just reintroduce what we're doing here. We'll listen to some new and interesting things in the CD bins and recommend recordings, too, of your old favorites. And we have a guest now with us who has been given assigned homework, 2 CDs to comment on, listen to, and he's going to lead us through them. John Kelly, Chief Executive with the Irish Chamber Orchestra. Welcome, John. Thanks for coming in.
Good morning, Tom.
It's great to have you here. And I noticed we were talking during the break, and I can't help but notice a connection. You are a violist yourself by training.
Yes, I trained in the Royal College of Music in London in the 70s and also in the Nordwest Deutsche Music Academy in Detmold, which was then West Germany, with Professor Bruno Giurana, who's now our principal guest conductor with the Irish Chamber Orchestra.
And he'll be coming up in town here soon?
Yes.
Around the region?
He's coming in tonight, and we have 3 concerts with the Chamber Orchestra next week. We're in Limerick in the University Concert Hall next Thursday night with a program of Mozart and Shostakovich. He's performing the Mozart Concertante with Fionnuala Hunt, who is our artistic director and the director of the orchestra, which will be something to look forward to. We then bring that concert to Cork next Saturday night, and then we finish in Dublin the 16th of May at 3 o'clock in our venue, the Museum of Modern Art.
And he's going to play that wonderful Sinfonia Concertante by Mozart for violin and viola, along with Fionnuala Hunt?
Fionnuala Hunt, yes. Fionnuala is the artistic director of the orchestra. She's been with us from the very beginning, since '95.
Now, since I'm fairly new to these parts, give me just the short synopsis of the Irish Chamber Orchestra, your mandate, what you specialize in, and that sort of thing.
Well, the history of the Chamber Orchestra has existed since the 70s, but in 1995 we relocated from Dublin with, for the first time, putting 13 musicians on contract. It was in cooperation with the Arts Council. We relocated out of Dublin to the new concert hall at the University in Limerick. In '96, we went to 16 string players. We're now at 19 string players. We do about 50 concerts a year. We're performing throughout Ireland, 2 major national tours, a spring series, and also now, lately in the last 2 years, we've done a lot of work internationally, both in the USA and in Europe, and it's been a great success.
One of our mandates here on Sound Effects will be to see what's going on around Ireland in the classical music scene, and another, the main raison d'etre for us is basically sample some new compact discs. So we gave you Laura Dimitrova, and I have to admit she's a new one to me, Bulgarian pianist.
Yes, well, she was new to me too, Tom. But having listened to the CD, it's fantastic piano playing. She's a Bulgarian. She was well known in the Eastern Bloc countries. She came to the attention of the West through George Schulte, who, upon hearing her, insisted on bringing her to London. He sponsored a Wigmore Hall recital for her and then brought her on tour. She's been compared to Horowitz. Some tremendous playing.
I understand you're suffering just a tiny bit from laryngitis, so I'll tell you what, we'll give you a rest and we'll let Laura do the talking with her fingers here, all right?
Thank you.
Dimitrova playing Bach, and I might add, playing Bach joyfully, almost with a kind of gleeful abandon. There's a real wit to her playing. There's one point when I was listening to the partita, that's the Gigue from the partita number 4 in D minor when I was listening, that I felt that she was almost just giggling away at the keyboard, and that is just to hear music making that's so joyful and appropriate, because basically these are suites of dances, right?
Yes, and the way she plays them, her ability to communicate the style is tremendous.
We're listening to Laura Dimitrova, my guest this morning, John Kelly, Chief Executive of the Irish Chamber Orchestra. And it's an interesting program, too. It's Bach, Bartók, some of the dances from the Mikrokosmos, the dances in Bulgarian rhythm, her native country.
Yes, they were originally written. Bartók mostly used to teach senior pupils, but when his son came along, he started to write these little ditties, just as etudes for his son, and gradually they developed. I think there was over 100 and...
Right, but these are numbers 148 to 153, so they're plenty. And then speaking of etudes, the symphonic etudes are studies by Schumann. And
yeah, these were, again, not being a pianist, they weren't works which I was completely familiar with. Maybe many of your listeners are saying, good Lord. But I find that listening to the Schumann works, they're again great works. They were written over a period of time. Schumann constantly was changing which way he was going to go at it. And the final version, he left, actually, there were 5 variations which he left out, which Brahms thankfully got hold of and had them put back in again.
And I understand from pianists that these are very challenging, the symphonic etudes.
Yes.
And we're going to hear the last one here. Again, you were impressed with Laura Dimitrova's playing of the Schumann as well as the Bach?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think she's just an all-round pianist, and obviously somebody who really takes the music right into her soul and has that great ability to communicate it in a very open way.
pianist Laura Dimitrova from Bulgaria playing the final study from the Symphonic Studies, the Symphonic Etudes by Schumann. That was the Allegro Brilliant, and she's a pianist we both have enjoyed listening to. We both meaning me, Tom Cran, host of Sound Effects, with my guest this morning, John Kelly, Chief Executive of the Irish Chamber Orchestra, who has come in on a Saturday morning with a touch of laryngitis, so you get extra credit this morning.
I thank you, Tom.
You liked Laura Dimitrova. That's a winner for you.
Very much.